Hi, it's Good Friday. This is Redheaded Riding Hood. Call me Red for short. I made a omelet and it has cheese and chicken and asparagus in it. So, I've been cheating too much on my diet and I really want to lose weight, so I'm trying to stop cheating. So I'm gonna try this, see how it is. I made the asparagus yesterday and I just on a whim decided to try it in my omelet. That's not bad. That is not bad. I'm going to read you my devotion and I'm going to read you 2 short poems. I seasoned this and I actually made it a little bit too salty. But this is good. I'm not gonna finish it on video though. I'll finish it later. Good. I have zero sugar, Dr. Pepper. Okay. Today, in The Confident Woman by Joyce Meyer, is on Be a Giver. She lays her hands to the spindle, her hands hold the distaff. She holds her hand to the poor, yes, she reaches out her filled hands to the needy, whether in body, mind, or spirit. Proverbs 31, 19, and 20. We see our woman working again. I believe that being fruitful makes one confident. We are not created by God to waste anything He has given us, and time is certainly one of the greatest assets we have. Everyone has the same amount of time, and yet some do many things with theirs while others do little or nothing. You will never experience confidence if you waste your life and your time. She also takes initiative in giving and reaches out her filled hands to the needy. In my opinion, givers are more powerful people. They are happy and fulfilled. I lived a long time as a selfish, self-centered woman, and I was miserable all the time. I have learned over the years, though, to be an aggressive giver. I look for opportunities, and it makes my life exciting and fulfilling. Job 29:16. There is nothing better in the world than making someone else happy. Remember that what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. Put a smile on someone else's face and your own joy will increase. This is true. Lord, help me to value and to make the most of my time. Fill my hands with good things to help others who are needy. Make me a powerful giver. Amen. Yeah, giving is something that Joyce teaches all the time, but also my mom taught me. My dad even wrote a poem when my mom passed away, and it said her giving was unending, which was true. She was always a giver, and that was I don't think she was taught that, just by God. I don't think she was taught that by her parents so much, maybe her dad, but I don't know. But I think she was just taught it by God, actually. So yeah, I'm going to do an upcoming video on my mom. It's going to be on the 14th. How many years since it's the anniversary of her death on the 14th of this month? And she passed in 2009. So that's 14 years. I think that's right. Did I do that math right? So yeah. And I'm going to read you a couple of poems too. These are more positive poems. So when I left the Baptist church in Warner Robins, where I didn't know at the time, but there is a word they have for what happened to me. It's called spiritual abuse. Because this woman was basically trying to she didn't want me to help in Celebrate Recovery like I wanted to, because of my brother Tim, and because I was dysfunctional and I was codependent. I wanted to help in the Celebrate Recovery at my very large church, and she would have none of that, and she was always trying to get me out of there, which was interesting. And I see a lot of this more clearly since I'm out of it. So someone lied at me. First she said she didn't think I was codependent. She thought I was a sex addict. Maybe I'll be brave and leave that in the video. And it was really kind of hilarious, because at that time I had only been with my husband. Sadly, I'm a little more experienced now. But anyways, then I left there, and then some things were happening in my life. And I went to sing in the choir at the church, which I loved, which was so awesome. And I made the mistake of going back to that Celebrate Recovery, and I should not have. But I wasn't going to try to work there, and I went to a different group. I went to, interestingly, I went to the abuse depression group, and I thought that was a better group, and I didn't think, but this woman was over the whole thing. So she was watching me when I was in that group too, and even sat in on the group, and it was insane, you guys. It was insane. She would read my blog. I'd write all sorts of things on my blog, and she would pick apart my blog. One time I went in and I decided to take my husband with me, because she called me in for a meeting. That was in That was when I first started going. That was in 2012. That was years before. Because the second time when I went back was 2014. And then I was in the other group, and she got, a person lied on me. And so I got kicked out of the group because they said I mentioned something outside of the group that I wasn't supposed to, and I didn't. So I got kicked out of the Celebrate Recovery, and all my friends went on that Thursday night. And so I went, I gave them a few months. I told they had a whole, this is a big church now too, you guys. I heard this was insane. Because the second time was 2014 when I had gone back, just trying to find help for the issues I was dealing with. And when she wanted to have me kicked out, they had a whole meeting with the leaders of the church, with all the pastors of the church. They had a whole staff meeting about me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That was insane. So they kicked me out, and I couldn't even go to the meeting on Thursday night. And I gave them some time. I said, just let me go. I don't feel safe. It's not safe for me to share. It's not safe for me to go to a small group there because she has spies and all this stuff. It was just insane. So it wasn't safe. So I said, just let me go to the Thursday night meeting. Because my friends are there and everything, and I was separated from my husband at that time. That was the ammo they had against me, because I was bad because I was seeking a divorce too. So that was another thing they had. Oh, she's evil. She's leaving her husband, and everything was all my fault, of course, and I admitted I was bipolar. I had issues. So everything's all her fault. She's bad. Yeah, go ahead, kick her out of Celebrate Recovery. So, and I gave them some months, and I said to because I felt I had canceled. I felt the head pastor, he was coerced, really. He was just going along with everybody else, trying to keep the peace. And didn't want to try to find someone else to lead the women in this Celebrate Recovery. So, didn't want to have to fire this person. They wouldn't let me go back even to the meeting. I gave them a few months, and I said, if by this date, I think it was like March or April 2015, you're not going to let me even go to the Thursday night meeting, then I'm gonna find another church. And I was singing in the choir and everything, and because I was just like, she's not gonna stop at nothing to get me completely kicked out of the church and kicked out of choir and all of that, because I was in the choir. And she had said to me, when she met with me, she had said to me, the pastor wants you to stay and keep singing in the choir and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's nice. Not happening. So anyways, I gave them a time frame, and then I left, and I started going to another church, which was a Methodist church, and had a couple, married couple, that they were both pastors there. And it was much closer to what I was used to, having been brought up Presbyterian. And so I started going to that church. I don't know if I joined or not, but I really liked it. And it was also a big church and they had a lot of activities. But the thing was, they didn't have a choir. I auditioned, I didn't know, to be on the worship team, and I didn't know how to do those things in your ear, and I didn't come in at the right time, and I was so upset, so sad. I flunked out of being on the worship team, and they also didn't have anything for like couple. I couldn't find a place to fit in at this church. I did go there from 2015 till 2019. Yeah. And then I left Georgia in 2020. And I stopped going to church in 2019 when I was angry and so disillusioned from all of these things. The final straw was being disconnected from my daughters, and yeah, it was a lot to go through. Anyways, during the time though when I started at the other church, I wrote these. They did a series on hope, and I think it was called Hope Rising. I think that's what it was called. And I wrote this poem called Hope Rising. Sifting, shifting, my life lifting, up from the mire, hope is rising. Like the phoenix and the sun rising. Don't listen to Satan, he's lying. I'm on the floor, my tears are drying. I dream of one day flying. And then I wrote this short one, Hope for a Tree. That's from a verse in Job. There is hope for a tree. There is hope in front of me. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but my hope in Jesus is what makes me tick. By my God, I can run and not grow weary. He strengthens me. I must confess, sometimes I am a hot mess, but without him, I'm a total disaster. Have a blessed Good Friday and Easter. I love you all. Bye.